welcome back everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break as we've returned and we deliver with what we promised. We're jumping in mid-series into this PvZ. We missed out on game one as it occurred when we were covering our entire best of three earlier. It was a much longer game that they did have between themselves. Now we're jumping in mid-series and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura. We have the German Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing his new team, the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is ForJumy. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Red Zerg player from the land of Denmark, representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Spazymazy. Oh, we're going pool first. Now, we of course covered Hearthstone versus Cuckoo earlier. We casted an entire best of three. It was a short best of three, as Cuckoo did go for non-stop all-ins versus Hearthstone, and Hearthstone did hold. And in the midst of our best of three, they did have their own game one of this series. We missed out, but did go the way of ForJumy, did go in his favor, and now we're settling into game number two. The Probe Scout will confirm the... oh, never mind. The Probe Scout is gonna get eyes on the timing of the hatchery and will realize something is amiss, does check the main, confirms the spawning pool's almost done, does confirm the pool first. ForJumy is aware, ForJumy is preparing back at home. So should be rolling up. We have the option to prioritize a Zealot here, or we could just wall up, go for the Adept, and just be a little bit more efficient and cut corners as Lings are on the way. Interesting. Okay, pool first, but you can see here we only have two Lings. Only two Lings, so Spazzy had the chance. He had the opportunity to invest into 2, 4, or even up to 6 Lings. It's only going to be 2. Basically, Spazymazy is hoping, because he got scouted, he's hoping he can force an overreaction. Speaking of, as a Zealot on the way. The Zealot is on the way, and if we allow this Zealot to complete, I mean, that's damage done. You know, that's minerals down the drain that otherwise could have been preserved and spent on an Adept. Now that the Cybercore is done, you can see, yeah, the Chrono being spent on the Gateway as well. We do chrono out the Zealot, and Spazymazy does confirm, and I'm sure he's feeling somewhat content here. He only made 2 Lings, and he spent a Chrono. We made a Zealot. Did force a reaction. And as long as we don't lose anything to the Zealot, we should be okay. As Zealot does move out, does at least fake out and move out as we're patrolling here outside the base. Adept has arrived, and now we move out together. The Adept and the Zealot as one. Has quite a lot of potential here. We can chip away at the Lings, we can potentially get into a mineral line. See how this all comes together. As we have our take of choice, going to be a Stargate opener out of ForJumy. The Overlord Scout will confirm the Stargate at least. Whether it's a Void Ray or an Oracle, yet to be determined. Zealot gets across the map. Adept threatens a Shade. Oh, we don't quite commit. Just chipping away at the third base. Third shouldn't go down. We have plenty to deal with. Plenty to handle this army, or these units. But now a second Adept has arrived. It comes in to reinforce. Lings coming in, but Lings are getting shaved off. So far, good trades here out of ForJumy. He breaks through the Lings now. He's going for the Queen. And he's going to get it. The Queen getting very low, and do we commit to the Shade? We do! Zealot is with the Queen, Adepts a Shade into the main base, drones are being one-shot one after the other. Ooh, big losses here for Spazzy! Spazymazy, no! 5 drone kills, brutal position here behind the mineral line. Lings are going down, more drones falling as well. And did we get the Queen? We did not. Thankfully, the Queen survived, but we get 7 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. An insane amount of damage this early on. 7 drones for a Zealot and 2 Adepts. We haven't even gotten into the Oracle, and now we have. The Oracle moves out. Spazymazy forced to go into a big lane counterattack, but we have a wall-off setup back at home. Second Oracle not on the way. Oh, we have a very interesting response. Okay, we'll get into it. It's going to be 1 Oracle. We skip the second and the third Oracle because we're spending gas elsewhere on a Twilight Council in the main and a Robo at the natural. This is very peculiar. Something we don't see too often. Oracle across the map doesn't get much done. Queens do zone it away. But ForJumy, he delays his third base in favor of tech. Now with this, we could see faster Immortal production. This could be for fast Temple Archives for Archons into a bit of a slow lot all in. I'm curious if that's the case. Do we go for the upgrade or do we go for the Temple Archives? Prism is on the way. Yep, there it is. Temple Archives. We're going for Archons. So we have seen ForJumy do this build before. We've had the luxury of casting ForJumy in online tournaments, and with this, basically, it's a pseudo Archon drop. the prison's going to move out, it's going to siege up, and we're going to be able to warp in High Templar and morph them into Archons and go for an Archon drop. And we can follow this up with additional gateways with either Slow Lots or Vanilla Stalkers, regardless, Vanilla gateway units. Let's see what we can get done. Meanwhile, that one Oracle across the map gets 3 more drones. Drones are going down, they get eyes on the lair. Once again, it looks like Spazymazy doesn't want to go into mutas. We've seen muta play attempted out of Spazzy so often today against Kelazur and against Hearthstone. And it looks like he might want to do something similar because there's no Roach Warren, there's no Bailey Nest, extra gas is being taken. It feels like we want to get into a Spire. If that's the case, we are going to be vulnerable. So it makes it turn down. Ooh. We did force a cancel, a big explosion, but there was a cancel at the 3rd. Archons have arrived, hunting down Overlords. Dropping into the main. Going for additional Overlords, drones, queens, whatever we can get our hands on. Splitting up our forces, going for a warp in. GG gets called. We have nothing to defend. No roaches with supply blocks, barely any lings, and ForJumy will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Once again, Spazymazy just being a little bit too greedy, cutting a lot of corners, working towards Spire Tech. I'm pretty sure that was going to be Spire Tech once again, taking all these gases, droning up, and we just did not have a standing army. And to be fair, this opener, this follow-up, maybe is a better way of putting it, this follow-up of Templar Archives into Archon drop is very uncommon. It is very uncommon, and Spazymazy was not able to scout, was not able to confirm, was caught with his pants down, and with that, ForJumy did take advantage of Spazymazy. GG, well played. Jumy takes the series, and I believe that is us wrapping up the next round. Round 3. Let's find out.